Welcome to Slasher Sunday. Tonight we're going to be tackling Malevolence because Malevolence 3 Killer is coming out very soon, which I'm excited for. I've been waiting for that movie for a long damn time. So we got Malevolence tonight. Maybe next week we'll do Bereavement. I'll definitely be doing Bereavement before Malevolence 3 comes out. So it would make the most sense that I'll do it next week. But I might do it before because I probably won't want to wait, and I'll probably just watch it tomorrow or something, but we shall see. So now let's get into this. Now, I talk about this movie like it's kind of a mix between Reservoir Dogs, Psycho, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre setting. So the Reservoir Dogs thing is obviously these guys are robbing a place. One of them gets shot. They drive off in different cars. They're trying to get back to this hideout location. So that's your Reservoir Dogs opening of sorts. Then we've got the Psycho mix in here, which is, you know, in Psycho, Marion Crane steals 40 grand. She goes and she drives from Phoenix, trying to get to California to see Sam Loomis, and she stops at the Bates Motel, and she gets murdered. Unbeknownst to her, she stops and meets a serial killer. And it's a crime of passion. It's a crime, you know, it has nothing to do with money. He's not trying to have any financial gain. And that's what happens here. Like, they have $450,000 that they've stolen, and they're in this house, and this killer's after them, and he's not after them for the money. He's not there to try to steal what they've taken. Like, no, he just wants to kill them. They're on his property. They're in his vicinity. This is his house. They gotta go down. The killer takes one of the guys in this movie's outfit and dons it through the film, and it kind of looks a little bit like a mix between Michael Myers', you know, outfit down here, his coveralls, I suppose, down here, and then up top, very, very similar to Friday the 13th Part 2. Although nowadays it actually looks a little bit more like it's a stranger's mask, right? So he was going definitely for more of the Friday the 13th thing, obviously, because the strangers didn't exist when this movie was made. But now that that exists, I have to say that that looks a little bit more like this one. And we've definitely seen masks like this throughout horror, but with obviously the Town That Dreaded Sundown being where I think Jason got his masks in or inspiration. But anyway, regardless, moving on. So we get this really dark opening where this kid has been taken and he's made to watch this girl get killed and whatever, and he gets like scar across his face. And then at the end of the movie, spoilers obviously, it's like 1:30 in the morning. Jesus Christ, man. Anyways, so he has this kid, and as I say, it flashes 10 years later. So this guy would be 16 now, and at the end of this movie, it's like revealed that the killer's the kid, and duh. Like, I don't know. I know that's supposed to be a freaking reveal, but it's just not for me. I find it to be so obvious. And then at the end, like, the detectives have to like read the books like freaking John Doe's in 7 or something, and it's just, you know, I don't get it. I'm like sitting there and hold on. Pardon the interruption. There is a lot of bugs out in this freaking garage where I record these videos when I'm on the road. This is getting ridiculous. So yeah, I just don't understand how this fucking thing is a twist. Like, I get that it is, but I don't know. It's super obvious to me, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. I just, while watching it this time, I'm like, wait, that's supposed to be a twist, isn't it? Because they like show the flashback and they show the scar, and it's like, oh, that's the kid from the beginning, and he's reading the thing like the killer got killed by the kid, and I don't know. I guess it is a twist. Why would they show his name at the beginning and show him watching people getting killed if that wasn't him? Like, it's him. I don't know. Anyway, I know we're supposed to think it's the other guy still alive and whatnot, but come on, why would they show all that at the beginning if it wasn't him? Anyways, so now I know a lot of people hate this movie because it's low budget, A, and because the acting for them is just dreadful. But I personally don't think it's dreadful. I think that it's fine. It's not horrendous. Come on, guys. I'll show you some horrendous acting. This is fine. It's not good. It's not like, oh, wow, this is a pretty good performance. It's just okay. It's whatever. There's moments where it's pretty rocky. But I like the mom. I thought the detectives, the FBI agents, I thought they were good. I thought everyone, mostly everyone was fine. So, I don't know. I don't get that. I thought the atmosphere is freaking great. I mean, the director wrote it, produced it, did the music. This guy was all in on this. This is his passion project. And I think he did a damn good job for $200,000. And so, let's see. I mean, to come back to your car and find your kid held at gunpoint with a guy with a mask in the back, that would be terrifying. That is just awful. So they go over and he ties the kids up, or ties the kid and the mom up, and then he walks out and the kid gets free so easily. And then he comes back and the kid puts her arms back around, and then the guy goes and looks out the window, and then she's just while he's standing right there, and you can tell he could see you out of his peripheral vision. I mean, yeah, he's wearing a mask, but he's right fucking there. Why wouldn't you wait for him to walk out again or do something else, be out of the room, something? She gets free and then starts to take her mom's thing off and starts undoing it, and he's standing right fucking there. Okay? I mean, I guess she's a dumb kid, but her mom should have been like, no, don't do that. But then he sees her, and you think he's going to get her, but he doesn't, and she runs off, and this is where he chases her, and this is where the killer gets him. I love the scenery, these real wide shots on the hills and whatnot, good stuff. And then I love the organic sets. You can tell that this is, it's a low budget movie, so you can tell where they're at. The locations that they're at are just real places. These are real abandoned buildings. This is real shit that was in those buildings when they found it. Maybe they moved some stuff around to make it look the way they wanted to, but for the most part, this is just abandoned buildings, and everything in there is how they saw it, and it's rusty, and it's degraded, and it's gross, and I love that. I love real set locations like this that weren't made for a movie. They just are. They just found an abandoned fucking town or whatever, and they went and they filmed in it. That stuff's so cool to me. It just feels authentic, and this movie really does that well. Plus it has an extremely washed out tone to it. It's very, very grim, just in its color palette, and I know that's because they probably didn't have a real good cinematographer, or they didn't have the budget for lighting and whatever, so they just filmed what they had, and it looks great. But I don't know, the look of the film actually really works for me. It also makes the film very authentic and just grim, as I said. So I don't know, all that kind of stuff worked for me. And then, the two main characters here, the guy and the girl, as he thinks his girlfriend's betraying him and all that, and they find the guy that has a shovel in his trunk. I like that they think that the guy out there who's the killer is their partner who is going to kill them. I guess it doesn't honestly make it any different for them, right? Outside of them trying to rationalize, which they never do. He's just attacking, and they're never dude, stop, we can split the money or whatever. And it's no, they go right at each other. So I guess it doesn't really matter if it was their friend or if it wasn't their friend as far as their characters go. Like, they're just there to kill this guy and to be able to take their money and defend themselves. But I just thought it was kind of suspect that they never really were like, stop, bro, like, let's talk about this. Nothing. It was just kind of like, nope, this is it. And then when he pulls the mask off, it's like, oh shit, that ain't the dude I thought it was. And then let's see. These I like. There's so many homages in this film. They're not blatant though. They're not in your face. They're subtle stuff. Like when the mom and the kid run out at the end of the movie out of the house, it's very, very similar looking to Lindsay and freaking Tommy Doyle running out of the Doyle house. It looks very, very similar. You got the main guy here. He comes out, is holding a gun. The cop sees him and shoots him. Reminds me a lot of Night of the Living Dead. I'm not sure how intentional that was. We get the bag masked killer running from behind the car that they're trying to start, which is very, very similar to Friday the 13th, part 2. And you've got, like, there's so many in this damn movie, but they're just subtle. And I don't even know if they're meant to be. But this guy's so influenced by these films that even if he didn't mean to put them in here, they're in here because that's his influences and that's where he got his style, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's hard not to, right? It's hard not to kind of borrow creatively from your heroes and films that you adore. I love the line that when the FBI agent comes and the cop's talking to him, he's just, he's like, there's going to be a lot of unhappy endings for your missing files, like your missing persons files or cases or whatever. I thought that was just like a really fucking sad way to put it. Like we found all the bodies. Like, these are all things that you never knew if they were related or not. You can just go through and they just have the files, whether they have them up on the walls, missing people, or if they have them in files somewhere. It's just like all these, you got to grab files just randomly and be like, they're dead, they're dead, they're dead. And there's just families, all sorts of different families that are just waiting for answers. And you're going to like this whole mix of different files being pulled and like all these families getting closure. It is closure, but I don't know, the way that was put, it really fucked with my mind and thinking about all these different cases being closed like that all at once. Just, I don't know, I guess just the whole idea of a serial killer is disgusting, of course. So I don't know, that scene just hit me wrong. But in a good way, like that's what these movies are supposed to do. As I said, I'm going to be looking for the journal in Bereavement. Hopefully it's there. I hope there's great continuity into the next movie. We shall see. The main chick at the end, it's very much proposed that she took the money. I mean, it seems that that's the bag with the money right there. And so he's in the closet at the end. How'd he find them? Okay. And while we're at it, okay, how the fuck did Jason Voorhees find Alice all that time later? Like, what the fuck? Why didn't he kill her right there, right then? Like, what is he waiting for? How the hell did he track her down? How did Jason fucking Voorhees track Alice down to her house? That is never even thought to be explained. Nor does it need to be. But I just was finding it funny because I saw this scene and I'm like, how the hell did he find her? And then I'm like, wait, how did Jason find Alice? That is stupid. Okay, how did he find her? I guess this is more believable to me because he could have somehow followed them, right? Because this is just like right after. But there's a large gap in between Friday the 13th 1 and Friday the 13th 2. So why did he wait so long? How did he find her? Whatever. He go around town and fucking rough people up till they told him. Guy doesn't even talk. Anyways, all right. So I look forward to watching Bereavement because I remember very little except for like Michael Biehn is in it and the amazingly gorgeous, wonderful Alexandra Daddario. So I look forward to seeing that again and probably watch it. I'll watch it within the next week, if not from Slasher Sunday. So until then, guys, adios.